a division of Playfly Sports. Talking Terps is brought to you by these network broadcast partners. Window Nation, the official replacement window company of the Maryland Terrapins. CQ, the official banking partner of the Maryland Terrapins. Toyota, it's time to go Toyota with legendary safety and reliability. Toyota, let's go places. The University of Maryland Medical System. For better treatments, better outcome, that's a better state of care. Learn more at umms.org/better. Lido Pizza. Lido Pizza is the official pizza of the Maryland Terrapins. Never cut corners, Terpland. Now, here's Talking Terps with the voice of the Terrapins, Johnny Holiday.
And a very pleasant good evening. Welcome once again to Talking Maryland Basketball for the next hour. We're at Lido's in College Park. The Maryland women will play tonight against Southern California over at Xfinity Center. That tip-off is set for 8:30 p.m. tonight. We've also got a very special show this evening. Head coach Gary Williams, the Terrapins head coach for some 22 years, the Hall of Fame coach alongside. It's kind of reminiscent of all the times we did the shows together. Coach for 22 years at different places. And we'll reminisce an awful lot tonight in the next hour about Maryland basketball and what you did for this program and what the players did. One of the guys holding the dog there, Lonnie Baxter, will be with us in just a couple of minutes. We've got Juan Dixon, who'll be on the phone with us in a few minutes. We've also got Rob Eson, an assistant coach with Gary for 7 years in Maryland. And then later on in the show, we'll be talking to Walt Williams and get his take on what happened back in the early 90s, when 1990 and 1991, when he was playing for the Terrapins. And Coach, there are so many memories we could talk about. We've been together a lot the last couple of years doing various things, but nothing can top that national championship team.
Well, you never, you always, that's your goal to do it, but you never think you're going to get there until you get there. You know, it's one of those things. And luckily, Lonnie Baxter, people like that, they were so dedicated to being better every practice, every game. You know, they just kept working and working, and we became a very good team. Our team in 2001 that went to the Final Four was probably as talented. We had Terrence Morris, we had Danny Miller, we had pretty good, a couple players there that we didn't have the following year. And, you know, for these guys to step up like they did, and you know, I'm proud of that team because we had to play the highest seeded team we could play every step of the way in the NCAA tournament. And, you know, we were able to come through under pressure. There were some great games during that sequence.
And Lonnie was the MVP of not one regional, but two back-to-back years.
Very few people ever do one to do two. I think there was only like two guys that had done that over a 10-year period when Lonnie did it.
Yeah. So. When you came back to Maryland after being at Ohio State, did you ever think that would happen? Coming back to
not after the first year when I found out what the sanctions were going to be. I said, "Wow, way to go!" You know, good move,
nice move,
good move. But you know, we all hung in there, and you know, I know Walt's coming on the show later, but his leadership during that time, I felt Walt has never gotten the credit for what he did for the university. You know, just so that we were relevant, and that made my job so much easier. Once we got off the sanctions, we could go from a different place. We didn't have to, we weren't at rock bottom because of Walt Williams.
Yeah. And when you were coaching, Gary, and you had so many wonderful teams over the years that you were here, but I think a certain kind of guy had to play for you. He had to play defense. He had to be able to score. He had to make a commitment to your basketball program.
They had to put up with me. That's what, you know, once we got that, once Lonnie understood, you know, I'm going to be here, so you might as well live with it, you know.
Yeah.
But, no, we would work really hard in practice. I always believed in practice. You either walk through something or you went game speed. There was none of this half speed stuff. Or, you know, if you're teaching, okay, you walk through something. And these guys put up with it. Plus, on the championship team, our second five was very competitive with our first team. I mean, you look at Taj Holden, Drew Nicholas, you know, Ryan Randall, Mike Grennan, Andre Collins, you go right down the list. Calvin McCall, I'm leaving out.
Two sport guy.
Very influential. And so every day in practice, if you had good people to go against, the first team had to work hard. That you don't get any better unless somebody pushes you in practice, whether it's the coach or players. And we were fortunate enough to have great players that could push the first team.
The Terps have come home after that West Coast swing, the first time the Terrapins have gone out to the West Coast. this year, and the only time, and losing a tough one to Washington on Thursday night, and then an even tougher loss against Oregon on Sunday. Two very tough losses. But Kevin Willard's got his team positioned now. They come back, they play UCLA this Friday night. That'll be an 8:30 tip-off at Xfinity Center. And a team that's, the second half of the season is all conference games. But it's changed a lot since you were coaching. The players have changed. The NIL's there. The transfer portal's there. It's a whole different ballgame now.
Yeah, it is. It's gotten different. And I think anytime you're in a good conference, like Maryland is in the Big Ten, whether it's the ACC that we were in, or I coached in the Big East also, and home court is so important. I hope that people here realize Friday night, the most important thing for them is to get to Xfinity and be part of it, because when you go on the road in the Big Ten, you're going to tough places to play. And if our place isn't tough, that's really a disadvantage for our basketball team. So we have to get everybody there that can get there. And nobody appreciates the effort more than Coach Willard and his basketball players. When you walk into Xfinity and that crowd's ready to go and everything, that's a tremendous place to play basketball.
Yeah.
And that's what we need Friday. I know the students aren't here, but we can't use that as an excuse for not having a great crowd Friday night.
The Terps have won 9, lost only 1 game this year at home.
Oh, yeah.
They're taking care of home court advantage.
Sure. And we play 3 out of the next 4 Big Ten games at home. And so we have to start off on the right foot Friday night.
As you look back on your career, when you played at Maryland, you played for Coach Bud Milliken.
Yeah.
And he was a defensive-minded guy, right?
Oh, really? Yeah. I think we averaged like
50 points a game.
A little over 50, yeah. And like, if you were a guard, if you took a shot, you better make it, because there'd be a guy going up to the scorer's table before the ball hit the rim, if you missed a shot. So he was. But if you were going to be a coach, he was a great guy to play for, because he was so fundamentally sound in what he taught. But it was just, you couldn't dribble behind your back, you couldn't dribble between your legs. None of that went on back then, and so. You 2-hand chest pass, bounce pass, all those things. And you learned how the game moved, and all that. And, he didn't overcoach, but he demanded certain things. And I think, he was really good for his time. But the game changed. Duke and Carolina, ACC, right at the end of his, which was 1967. Was his last year.
Did you take a lot of things you learned from him and put it into your coaching style?
Yeah, I didn't put much of the offense in my coaching style, but defensively, his fundamentals, they're taught today. I mean, that's his helping man-to-man defense was just incredible. And we stayed in games with that. We weren't that talented, but we stayed in games because we could play defense.
We're talking Terps with Maryland's Hall of Fame basketball coach Gary Williams tonight. We're at Lido's in College Park. When we come back, we'll visit with Juan Dixon, get his thoughts about his time at Maryland. All brought to you by Window Nation, the official window replacement company of the Maryland Terrapins. We'll come back in just a minute on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
Maryland.
Sunday.
Just gotta steam it, babe.
Time to suit up.
Like half zip, kind of quarter zip guy.
Sacrifice your lawn and your skin's ability to breathe.
Does that look cheater looking?
No, it's full jag.
Easy, Chief. Let your razzle-dazzle on the field, the bar, or your best friend's nuptials.
So the Buffalo Bills, guys.
No matter how hard you football,
Stuck zipper here.
it's easy to Sunday.
Morgans won big today with Window Nation. Let's check in and hear what they have to say.
How do you feel now that you've finally replaced your old drafty windows with these beautiful custom fit windows?
We're loving the look of our new windows.
We paid way less than we thought we would.
And no more cold winter drafts or crazy summer AC bills.
Sounds like a win to me.
That wraps it up for the Morgans. Next up, your family. Hey, Washington, D.C., get your free estimate today. Plus, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. Visit GetWindowNation.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Hey, friends at Lidl Pizza would.
A legacy is earned with generations of proven reliability, standing tall through the test of time, leading, innovating to build the best vehicles with the best value. Because the greatest memories begin with the journey.
This is my legacy.
Toyota, let's go places.
As muscles tense and hearts pound, as bodies are pushed to the extreme, there's a health system here to help everyone stay in the game. University of Maryland Medical System, for pro athletes and devoted amateurs, for those on the sidelines and those making a comeback. We have more experts and more innovation so you can experience every moment. That's a better state of care. University of Maryland Medical System.
Window Nation is on the Morgan's home turf to huddle up about replacing their drafty old windows.
This free estimate is showing how easy it is to tackle the problem.
We can get any of these windows custom made.
Yes, you can get the quality and style you really want.
And at a more affordable price than they ever imagined.
Now that they've sealed the deal, they'll be saving money year-round.
We're really confident with Window Nation.
Hey, Washington, D.C., get your free estimate today. Plus, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. Visit GetWindowNation.com.
Target triple, and he gets it.
We're talking Terps once again. Johnny Holiday.
University of Maryland Medical System, for better treatments, better outcomes. That's a better state of care. Learn more at umms.org/better. Welcome to all of our Facebook friends out there watching tonight. Over 1,000 of you are dialed in. Thank you very much. Hall of Fame coach Gary Williams, Lonnie Baxter down there, and the incomparable, there's only one mosquito, Tom Marquito.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody knows wine, coach, like Marquito does.
He is. And can we specify Chardonnay?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go to the telephones. And up in Baltimore, up in Columbia, I think, is Juan Dixon, the 2002 National Championship Most Valuable Player, All-American, All-Atlantic Coast Conference. And, Coach, when did you discover Juan Dixon? Was it an AAU game somewhere down south?
Well, I had started watching him play before that, and the problem was Juan was, not very big, thin, and he was really an off guard because they had a guy at Calvert Hall smaller than Juan playing the point. So it was hard to, because I knew he had to handle the ball some when he got to college, and so that was my only thing. But gradually, what really sold me was Juan's intensity level. Like, you never saw Juan play a second without going as hard as you could.
100%.
And that really important. Plus, he was a scorer, and you couldn't label him for a certain position. He was a scorer. He knew how to put the ball in the basket. And I got to laugh at people sometimes. They say, well, all he can do is shoot or whatever. Well,
yeah,
we'll take him. And Juan he was a great leader. He was in practice and games. He was a great leader because Juan hated to lose. That was the best part of his game. And we were down, I think 13-3 to Kansas in the semifinals in 2002. Lonnie, you'll like this. I remember Juan coming off the court, grabbing Wilcox 6'9", 250, and dragging him in and telling him he had to play harder, and all this stuff. So he said everything I wanted to say, so I didn't have to say anything during the timeout. But here's Juan. He went out and hit 2 threes right after. So all of a sudden it's 13-9, and we're in good shape.
Yeah. Juan, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Mr. Holiday. How are you?
I'm doing terrific now that we have you on the show. Lonnie Baxter sitting up here with us, and Lonnie was nodding as Coach Williams was talking about you and how he discovered you and how you ended up in Maryland, and what great memories you must have of being here at the university.
No doubt, man. First of all, Coach giving me the opportunity to play at the University of Maryland. It was a dream school of mine, and the moment I remember the day Maryland took notice that I was playing against Coach Hahn, the late Coach Hahn's son, Matt Hahn. He was at Atherton High School, and my dad had just passed away. But, I was still able to play, just try to keep my mind off what was happening. Ended up playing really well, and I believe Coach Hahn went back to Coach Williams and his staff, like this little skinny kid in Calvert Hall can really play, can put the ball in the basket. And ever since then, man, I just tried to compete at the highest level, Mr. Holiday. And then when Coach gave me that opportunity, I just tried to do whatever I could to help him have success and help my teammates win. So, for Lonnie and I to experience what we did at Maryland together is definitely something I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Hey, Juan, I've never asked you this, but how much playing against Steve Francis your first year at Maryland, how much did that help your game?
Oh, that helped a ton, Coach. I mean, just competing against Steve, and not only Steve, but Prop and Stokes. I remember Norman Fields, just physically, he just beat me up. So those guys prepared me for, the years moving forward. But playing against Steve every day, it's a guy that I looked up to. His game was well polished. He was super athletic. He was tough mentally. He was super skilled. And it challenged me to become a better basketball player. And then defensively, if I could compete against Steve, then I didn't have an issue competing against anyone else in the country. So that team, me and Lonnie, freshman year, prepared us for something bigger. Playing against those guys, Coach, you had grown men. I saw Prof recently in Orlando. I mean, you think about Prophet and Stokes and Akizi, Brian Watkins, the late LeBron Cephas. We had a really, 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 really good basketball team.
Yeah, I wish Bina hadn't gotten hurt like a week before the NCAA tournament because
we lost to St. John.
He played in the pros like 6 years and he tore his Achilles tendon. I'll never forget that because when we played St. John's, Lonnie wasn't quite ready yet to really take on that leading role when they had Ron Artest and Eric Barkley. That was a very good team we lost to in the NCAA tournament that year.
Right.
And Coach
Mr. Holiday, Coach Williams got a great memory, man. So detailed with your stories too. It's crazy.
Yeah, but sometimes I can't remember yesterday, Lon, so I can go way back, but that.
But Lonnie, you can jump in here. We were talking about Lon's talking about his days at Maryland, and you guys together was a tremendous 1-2 combination.
Yeah, most definitely. Me and Juan, we were the two players that were actually from the state of Maryland. So
exactly,
we took a lot of pride in our game every time we stepped on the court because we had to hear the most stuff when we lost. So we just came out, with, like I said, a tremendous amount of pride. We both hated losing. We were just tough competitors. Juan with the great jump shot, me with the great, drop step duck in. Everybody knew what play we were running. They knew our scouting report, but they just couldn't stop it because we just ran it to a T.
Yeah, I think the key thing, like with Juan, is that he always Juan. Tell me if I'm wrong on this, but you always felt you were the best guard on the court. I think you walked into the game, somebody had to prove you wrong. You had that attitude, which you try to get that through in everybody. And when I used to recruit, after coaching you, Lonnie, and guys like that, that's what I look for. I look for guys that I knew were going to be tough outs. In other words, when it got tough, they were going to play tougher. And that's what you and the guys in that team always did.
Yeah, Coach, you're right, man. Ever since I was a kid, and I say this in the most modest way, I've always been a winner. So anytime I stepped on the playing field, whether it's the football field, the baseball field, the court, I wanted to win. And I had that burning desire to succeed because I also had so many doubters. So like Lonnie, every time we stepped on that floor, we had something to prove, whether it was you as a coach or us as your players. We wanted to go out and prove people wrong. And the only way I could do that was to have the mindset that I was the best guard on the floor. And I was fortunate. Like the pieces to the puzzle fit perfect. And you talk about, Lonnie, Chris, Taj, Sleepy. You talk about the guard play, the wing play with Blake, Drew, Byron, Calvin. Like we had all the right pieces. And every day we was able to make each other better in practice. And that's what it took for us to succeed.
We're talking to Juan Dixon. We're talking Terps. We'll take a break and come back with more with Juan and Coach Williams and Lonnie Baxter in just a minute on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
Hey, I'm Mighty Meals. I'm healthy, convenient, and won't break the bank. But my best quality is I'm delicious. And unlike those other meal prep services, I'm made with locally sourced ingredients and prepared by real chefs. How else do you think I'm able to look this good? Just visit my website. I've got over 100 delicious options to choose from. Select your favorites and I get made just for you. Then my driver picks me up and brings me right to your door. But don't get me wrong, I'm not high maintenance. Just throw me in the microwave for 2 minutes and voila, I'm ready to be enjoyed. If you're looking for a fresh and delicious start, I'm your match.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Hey, I'm Mighty Meals. I'm healthy, convenient, and won't break the bank. But my best quality is I'm delicious. And unlike those other meal prep services, I'm made with locally sourced ingredients and prepared by real chefs. How else do you think I'm able to look this good? Just visit my website. I've got over 100 delicious options to choose from. Select your favorites and I get made just for you. Then my driver picks me up and brings me right to your door. But don't get me wrong, I'm not high maintenance. Just throw me in the microwave for 2 minutes and voila, I'm ready to be enjoyed. If you're looking for a fresh and delicious start, I'm your match.
As muscles tense and hearts pound, as bodies are pushed to the extreme, there's a health system here to help everyone stay in the game. University of Maryland Medical System, for pro athletes and devoted amateurs, for those on the sidelines and those making a comeback. We have more experts and more innovation so you can experience every moment. That's a better state of care. University of Maryland Medical System.
You're listening to Talking Terps. Once again, here's Johnny Holiday.
It is showtime. Grab some Testudo Premium Lager. That's the official craft beer of the Maryland Terrapins by Union Craft Brewing Company. Juan Dixon's on the telephone with us. We're talking Terps tonight with Hall of Fame coach Gary Williams. It's interesting. You talked about your first year when Stevie Francis was working you over pretty good, Juan, and you averaged 7 points a game that year. And then each subsequent year, your sophomore, junior, and senior year, your average went up and up and up, 18 points, and then 20. 2,669, number one all time still. And Lonnie Baxter's, I think, number 8 on that top 25 list.
Yeah, Lonnie said he would have scored more, but Juan shot the ball.
Yeah, it's crazy, Johnny. That my freshman year, that team was Steve and Stokes and Prof and Akizi, Lonnie, Terrence Morris. I led the team shots per minute. That was my stat. I averaged 7.4, but I led the team with shots per minute. I remember shooting from the flag that was the logo on the floor. Coach Williams was like, "What the heck are you doing?" So I always had the utmost confidence in my ability to go out and contribute. And like you said, playing against those guys every day helped me become a better player.
Of all the records you hold at Maryland, one thing that jumped out at me, Juan, was the fact that you played in 110 victories, and you never fouled out of a game you played at Maryland. Never fouled out, unlike Mr. Baxter.
Yeah, well, Juan knew if he fouled out, he couldn't shoot. So,
right, right. And the easy part was, Johnny, I had Lonnie, Chris, Taj, Terrence Morris. I had those guys at the basket. So if my guy would beat me, I didn't have to foul. I just let those guys, make a play at the basket, whether it's blocking the shot or changing some one shot, and made it a lot easier for me as a perimeter defender.
And, Coach, we talked an awful lot about that championship team you had, there was not one single McDonald's High School All-American on that team. It's just guys that blended together.
Well, I think back then you could do that. You got guys that obviously had the right attitude, had great attitude, and they were good basketball players. But because somebody didn't, the McDonald's All-American team, I guess I can say this, is very political about who makes that and who doesn't make it. So that never bothered me whether a guy was considered McDonald's All-American or not. I just tried to get guys that could play in the ACC. I thought we could compete with Duke. And, everything was measured about Duke and Carolina back then. You had to be as good as they were. And we got to be as good as they were. And, it's because of these guys, that it takes a lot of work to do that because they're two of the all-time great programs. And, you really had to work hard to get to their level.
What's the one thing that you took with you after you left college and then went to the NBA? You took from Gary Williams that taught you something that you would never, ever forget and help you get to the next level?
Just competing at the highest level no matter what, whether it's, we're down, whether we're up, always play the next play like it's your last. Coach was a fighter. He competed every second on those sidelines. We all can tell looking at his shoots after the game, but he was the ultimate competitor. And that's just something I learned from him. And that's something I utilize to this day, just competing every opportunity I get, whether it's coaching, whether it's my sons in skill development, whether it's helping others. I just compete and want young people to get better, just like Coach Williams did for us.
Yeah, I think, but that's what separated you from a lot of players. Obviously, there's a lot of talent in any good conference, Big Ten, ACC, whatever. But it's the guys that bring it every day in practice that nobody sees, basically, that are the ones that gradually separate themselves from the other players. And Juan did that during his career. That always impressed me of how each year he just got better, and he was better than most guys. And all of a sudden, he's better than most guys in the country. And that's hard to do. And Lonnie did the same thing, in terms of when we went down to recruit Lonnie, there weren't a lot of schools around there, but you can't always measure what's inside of a guy, his heart. Yeah. And in recruiting, I always tried to do that. And I wasn't always right, obviously, but at the same time, we were able to get guys that had the same philosophy about life and basketball, that they were going to make themselves better. And believe me, that's a great coaching situation.
And you did. You made Juan Dixon better, made Lonnie Baxter better. And Ron, thanks so much for being with us tonight. We really appreciate it and look forward to seeing you at a couple of games coming up soon.
Absolutely. Good talking to you guys.
Hey, Juan. Good talking to you.
Okay, thanks, Juan.
All right.
Back with Lonnie Baxter and Rob Eshawn coming up, and still Walt Williams on Talking Terps with Maryland's Hall of Fame coach Gary Williams in just a minute on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
As muscles tense and
a legacy is earned with generations of proven reliability, standing tall through the test of time, leading, innovating to build the best vehicles with the best value. Because the greatest memories begin with the journey.
This is my legacy.
Toyota, let's go places.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The Morgans won big today with Window Nation. Let's check in and hear what they have to say.
How do you feel now that you've finally replaced your old drafty windows with these beautiful custom fit windows?
We're loving the look of our new windows.
We paid way less than we thought we would.
And no more cold winter drafts or crazy summer AC bills.
Sounds like a win to me.
That wraps it up for the Morgans. Next up, your family. Hey, Washington, D.C., get your free estimate today. Plus, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. Visit Get Window Nation.
Sunday.
Just gotta steam it, babe.
Time to suit up.
Seems like half zipped, kind of quarter zip guy.
Sacrifice your lung and your skin's ability to breathe.
Does that look cheetah looking?
No, it's full jag.
Easy, Chief. Let your razzle-dazzle on the field, the barn, or your best friend's nuptials.
So the Buffalo Bills, guys.
No matter how hard you football, it's easy to Sunday.
As muscles tense and hearts pound, as bodies are pushed to the extreme, there's a health system here to help everyone stay in the game. University of Maryland Medical System, for pro athletes and devoted amateurs, for those on the sidelines and those making a comeback. We have more experts and more innovation so you can experience every moment. That's a better state of care. University of Maryland Medical System.
Window Nation is on the Morgans' home turf to huddle up about replacing their drafty old windows.
This free estimate is showing how easy it is to tackle the problem.
We can get any of these windows custom made.
Yes, you can get the quality and style you really want.
And at a more affordable price than they ever imagined.
Now that they've sealed the deal, they'll be saving money year-round.
We're really confident with Window Nation.
Hey, Washington, D.C., get your free estimate today. Plus, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. Visit GetWindowNation.com.
And the one-handed slam.
We're talking Terps. Once again, Johnny Holiday.
Food Lion's the proud sponsor of the Score to Give More program. For every free throw the Terrapins make this season, Food Lion Feeds will donate 100 meals to the local food banks in College Park. Coach, there was a guy on your staff for 6 years in Maryland named Rob Eson, who's now the head basketball coach at the University of Illinois, Chicago. And what a tremendous addition he was to your staff back some years ago.
He certainly was. He did a lot of things I didn't like to do as a coach, which, you like your sisters to do. But Rob was really organized, and I knew he was going to be a very good head coach because he had always had everything under control, and, sometimes, I flew by the seat of my pants when I was coaching, but Rob always had things set up, and he was ready to go. And he combined, like all good assistant coaches, they combine the ability to get along with the player, but at the same time, their loyalty is to the coach.
Right.
And I think Rob did that as well as anybody.
And Coach Eson's along with us tonight by telephone after a win last night at Missouri State, 180-63. You won 6 of your last 7 games. You guys are rolling, Coach.
Yeah, well, first, I appreciate you guys having me on. I told you yesterday, Johnny, when I got your text about coming on the radio show, it kind of made my day. Just super excited to be here. And, yeah, our team is playing good. First year here in Chicago. I've told everybody since I've got the job, we have a very competitive group, and they're very coachable. And in today's day and age, when you have kids that play hard, they care, and they listen, I do think, you can do some big things. And, we were picked last in the Missouri Valley coming into this year. And I think we've kind of used that as motivation. And as you said, we've run 6 of 7 and 4 out of 5 road games in the last month. So proud of our group.
It sounds like the guys you had in Maryland when you were helping Coach Williams coach here.
You know what? I was telling my wife I was coming on this radio show, and we were talking about the Maryland. And, what's crazy, Johnny, is I was only a few years older than a lot of the guys I was coaching when I was there at Maryland. Gravis Vasquez, obviously great. Like, he's only a couple years younger than me, and it's kind of weird to think back, but we obviously had some amazing times there in Coach's last 6 years, and especially that last 2009, 2010 team, man, was that a special team in Maryland history. And just so grateful for that experience.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rob. And, the big thing, that team, we had to win our last 7 games, regular season, in the conference to tie Duke for first place during the regular season. Duke turns around and wins the national championship that year. That was John Shire, their coach now, was their best player, their outstanding point guard. But Grievous Vasquez, Rob, we don't get Grievous Vasquez without Rob's persistence and working really hard to get him. And he saw something in Grievous early. In fact, we were over there trying to recruit Kevin Durant at Montrose Christian. Yeah. And we weren't allowed to talk to Kevin Durant for whatever reason. But then we saw this other guy flying around the gym, looked like he loved to play. And, I started asking Rob, I said, what's the deal with this guy? I really like him. Well, he's okay. He's a little wild and everything, but he had that length, he was 6'6", 6'7", long arms, really knew the game, but most importantly, loved the game. He loved to play.
Yeah. And Gravis had what the hardest thing to discover in recruiting is, and it's absolute toughness and no fear. And, and I would like to take credit that I was the one that, discovered that. But even nowadays, you are trying in recruiting to find kids who play the game as he played it, with that heart and that toughness and that loyalty to the coach. And I'm telling you guys, it is so hard to find nowadays. And he was so unique in that way.
He won the 2010 Bob Cousy Award, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Top point guard in the country.
Top point guard in the country. Plus, he made a shot against Duke. We had to beat Duke to tie them for the regular season championship. He made a shot, a running half hook, half jump shot going toward the corner of where our bench is. And that thing went in. And I kind of look down at Krzyzewski and go, that's Graves. That's what he does. You think we're surprised? No, we're not surprised.
Right. You were coaching when he had that game at Virginia Tech, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. That was
when somebody backed into the fire hydrant.
Beer truck backed into a fire hydrant and broke a water main. And we were supposed to play at 12 o'clock. And we stayed in that gym till I think.
Yeah.
What time did we start, Rob? 4 o'clock in the afternoon?
And there was no fans. No, the fans weren't allowed to come in.
No, they finally fixed it, but that was what Grievous had 43.
43.
Yeah. An amazing performance. Yeah. That was the year. That was the year we also Cliff Tucker hit the game winner against Georgia Tech. Cliff Tucker.
And Grievous had hit the game winner coming over half court, and they said we had called timeout, which was one of my assistant coaches called, but it wasn't you, Rob. So you're still alive.
Yeah, it was not me for sure. But just that team had all the intangibles. They weren't the most talented, but man, were they fun to watch and just tough. And they listened and they were coachable and they just believed in coach's message. And I'm telling you, it's sometimes as simple as that.
Yep, that's exactly right. You can have all the talent, but if those. I'm sure you saw UCLA's coach's comments today about it. He's the hardest working person in their program.
Cronin, exactly.
That takes care of about all your players.
That's right.
I like that.
Yeah, we'll see him.
Hey, Rob. So in your league, what is the teams like? Are they? Is there some pressing? Is there a lot of transition stuff, or do they try to bang it inside?
Yeah, Missouri Valley has the reputation as being a miniature Big Ten.
Right.
And so very physical, great shooting, a slower paced league, smart, tough, good coaches. I mean, we're ranked the 10th best league in the country by the metrics. Ironically, Bradley and Drake are playing right now. Those were the teams that have been preseason kind of picked very high. We play Bradley on Saturday. We beat Drake on New Year's Day when they were undefeated. So yeah, it's a physical, tough league. We've tried to be a little bit faster, a little bit more up tempo, press a little bit more to do something different. But yeah, it's a hard league.
Rob, thanks for coming on with us. Really appreciate your time. Brings back a lot of nice memories, man.
So much memories. I still follow the Terps from afar, and I know they were out playing those West Coast teams in the last week. Hopefully they'll get on their winning ways here this week. But no, Maryland and Coach and you too, Johnny. So many people were so good to me when I was young, and really, that's where my basketball coaching home is. I'm so grateful for all you guys, and just made my day coming on here and talking to you guys.
Young would be 26 when he coached at Maryland.
Keep it rolling.
Hey, Rob, thank you, buddy. We'll catch up soon. All the best to your team.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Okay, go Flames.
Right,
Back in just a minute with Lonnie Baxter and Walt Williams on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
Maryland.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Window Nation is on the Morgan's home turf to huddle up about replacing their drafty old windows.
This free estimate is showing how easy it is to tackle the problem.
We can get any of these windows custom made.
Yes, you can get the quality and style you really want.
And at a more affordable price than they ever imagined.
Now that they've sealed the deal, they'll be saving money year-round.
We're really confident with Window Nation.
Hey, Washington, D.C., get your free estimate today. Plus, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. Visit GetWindowNation.com.
Ah, Sunday.
Just got a steam babe.
Time to suit up.
Like half zip, kind of quarter zip guy.
Sacrifice your lung and your skin's ability to breathe.
Does that look cheater looking? No, it's full jag.
Easy, Chief. Let your razzle-dazzle on the field, the barn, or your best friend's nuptials.
So the Buffalo Bills, guys.
No matter how hard you football, it's easy to Sunday.
As muscles tense and hearts pound, as bodies are pushed to the extreme, there's a health system here to help everyone stay in the game. University of Maryland Medical System, for pro athletes and devoted amateurs, for those on the sidelines and those making a comeback. We have more experts and more innovation so you can experience every moment. That's a better state of care. University of Maryland Medical System.
A legacy is earned with generations of proven reliability, standing tall through the test of time, leading, innovating to build the best vehicles with the best value. Because the greatest memories begin with the journey.
This is my legacy.
Toyota, let's go places.
Radio Network.
So stop at midcourt. And he got it.
We're talking Terps. Once again, Johnny Holiday.
University of Maryland Medical System for better treatments, better outcomes. That's a better state of care. Learn more at umms.org/better. Lonnie Baxter. Oh, my goodness, Coach. Where do you start with this guy? MVP of not one regional, but 2 regionals back-to-back. All-American, All-ACC 3 times. What a magnificent career Lonnie had at Maryland. Now, if you want to get a car, you got to get it from Lonnie Baxter.
Well, that's true.
At Coons.
I've done that a couple times.
Coons of Silver Spring. Yep.
So far,
so both to your house. Too.
So far, so good, Lonnie.
Do you bring the car to the person?
I brought them both to his house.
There you go. How about big memories of working for Coach Williams, playing for Coach Williams?
Man, just the greatest. Just instilled a lot of, grit, perseverance into me. I remember the first day of practice, me and Steve Francis are chewing on our shirts, and we got cursed out for eating our jerseys.
I can't believe I did that.
And we just started laughing. I remember freshman year when Obina was playing, I used to get cursed out on the bench. And never once did I say, oh, my God, coach doesn't like me. I want to transfer. I never, I understood the tough love. If he didn't want me on this team, he wouldn't be in my face pushing me as hard as he was. Never once did I say I'm transferring. I'm going somewhere else because he doesn't like me. I just took the criticism and got better from it. And
I don't know if you remember this, but after your freshman year, you came in the office and you said, what can I do? I want to start. I want to play, this next year. Yeah. And I say, well, you got to be in great shape if you want to play like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Lonnie lost 25 pounds or more between his, and people don't understand that, and turned a lot of that into muscle. But he lost 25 to 30 pounds during the summer. And what'd you do? You ate fish and chicken, right?
Fish, shrimp, fried rice.
Wow.
Just changed my diet around. Curtis Schultz did a great job, in the weight
That's right.
room.
Curtis Schultz is our strength coach. Yeah. And like a lot of players, you tell them what to do in the off season, in the summer. They go, yeah, coach, okay, coach, sure, I'll do it. It never happens.
Hey, pick up 25 pounds.
And with Lonnie was a man of a few words. He's a lot better now because he's selling cars.
Exactly.
But like, he'd look at you, and I go, you got it, Lonnie? And he'd go, yep. And that would be it. And then he went out and did it, and the very, very few players respond like that. And like you said, I'm not easy.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, I'm not easy to. I don't think I was easy to play for, but at the same time, I think I knew what it took for somebody like Lonnie to be a great player and to play in the NBA. And the worst feeling you have as a coach is not to see that happen when you know the potential was there and you couldn't get a player up to that level. That's happened a couple of times, and you remember all those things. You remember the great things that Lonnie did, but you also remember guys that just didn't quite get to where you thought they should get to.
Lonnie Baxter, member of the national championship team in 2002. And the guy that saved the Maryland basketball program is the wizard Walt Williams, who just happens to be with his feet propped up at home up there in Olney
suburban Olney.
Outside of Olney. And when you came to Maryland, there were sanctions on this team, but you never wavered. You never thought about changing schools.
Well, no, not at all, man. I just was having a blast at the University of Maryland. My teammates, they were like my brothers. So we had formed a brotherhood, and so I couldn't imagine continuing my college career anywhere else.
Yeah, I think what Walt did at Maryland, we weren't allowed to be on television. We couldn't play in the NCAA tournament. And so what Walt did, I think, kind of went under the radar. But like looking back now, I think a lot of people realize that no one, and I mean no one, ever had a better year than Walt did his senior year. I think he went 27 points a game. What was it, Walt? 8 games in a row in the ACC, over 30 a game. And
yes, sir.
It wasn't like we had a lot of options and the other team didn't know what we were trying to do. Like get it to Walt, Well, the guys on the team knew, though, that if they didn't get Walt the ball, they weren't going to play. So that was pretty easy.
And 7 consecutive games, twice against Florida State, and I think twice against Wake in that streak. You popped 30 against the team twice in one season. And these were all conference games you're playing.
Yeah, and in the ACC back then, I think 5 teams that year went to the NCAA tournament. We weren't allowed to, but, that's a level of competition we were playing against. And it was just incredible. And I think, Walt's teammates, I look back at those guys, Cedric Lewis, tremendous, Vince Broadnax, just, worked his butt off defensively, went from a walk-on to a co-captain his senior year, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then, hey, Walt, I heard one story from Matt Rowe one time where you gave him a haircut. Is that true?
Yes,
and it didn't come out real well.
I was the team barber. So, yeah, that was the best paid Matt has ever had.
Yeah, but I heard what Matt told me was that you told Matt that you had never cut a white guy's hair before. So
no, he was my first white guy.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And you know what? Hey, Walt, I'll say this. It was a bad haircut, by the way. It was bad.
Hey, he was my guinea pig. I got better as he went along.
Hey, today Matt Rowe has no hair today either.
Well, we won't blame Walt for that. He was losing. That's the problem. Matt didn't have good hair.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Wiz, I just want to remind you as we wrap it up here, Marquito, you know how Marquito gets a little bit shaky when the show's coming to a close. We do have a game on Friday night against UCLA. So we hope you'll be sitting next to me when we start the broadcast on Friday night. 8:30 tip-off.
Okay. 8:30. All right.
Well, does this come as a surprise to you?
Walt's got it down there. He'll be ready to go. Walt's always, hey, Walt, when the bell rings, you're ready to go. You're ready to go.
You already know, Coach.
All right.
That's all I need to do is hear the bell ring.
All right, Walt. We'll see you on Friday night, buddy. Thanks so much.
All right.
All right.
See you Friday, Walt.
Back in just a couple of minutes with Coach and Lonnie Baxter on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
when you open a...
Hey, I'm Mighty Meals. I'm healthy, convenient, and won't break the bank. But my best quality is I'm delicious. And unlike those other meal prep services, I'm made with locally sourced ingredients and prepared by real chefs. How else do you think I'm able to look this good? Just visit my website. I've got over 100 delicious options to choose from. Select your favorites and I get made just for you. Then my driver picks me up and brings me right to your door. But don't get me wrong, I'm not high maintenance. Just throw me in the microwave for 2 minutes and voila, I'm ready to be enjoyed. If you're looking for a fresh and delicious start, I'm your match.
A legacy is earned with generations of proven reliability, standing tall through the test of time, leading, innovating to build the best vehicles with the best value. Because the greatest memories begin with the journey.
This is my legacy.
Toyota, let's go places.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
As muscles tense and hearts pound, as bodies are pushed to the extreme, there's a health system here to help everyone stay in the game. University of Maryland Medical System, for pro athletes and devoted amateurs, for those on the sidelines and those making a comeback. We have more experts and more innovation so you can experience every moment. That's a better state of care. University of Maryland Medical System.
Hey, I'm Mighty Meals. I'm healthy, convenient, and won't break the bank. But my best quality is I'm delicious. And unlike those other meal prep services, I'm made with locally sourced ingredients and prepared by real chefs. How else do you think I'm able to look this good? Just visit my website. I've got over 100 delicious options to choose from. Select your favorites and I get made just for you. Then my driver picks me up and brings me right to your door. But don't get me wrong, I'm not high maintenance. Just throw me in the microwave for 2 minutes and voila, I'm ready to be enjoyed. If you're looking for a fresh and delicious start, I'm your match.
Work.
Nice move, and he hits the shot off the glass with the left hand.
Do that again. We're talking Terps. Once again, Johnny Holiday.
SeatGeek is now the official ticket marketplace of the Terrapins. Whether you're buying or selling basketball tickets, it's the place to do it. Lonnie Baxter, thank you, buddy. Always for coming by with your attack dog right there in your lap.
Yes, sir.
And I continue selling those cars at Coons Ford. They're only one place to go to see Lonnie Baxter.
Yes,
right?
sir. Coons of Silver Spring.
Yeah, there you go. Coach, a lot of memories tonight. Thanks. You got 2 more shows with us coming up, right?
Yeah, it was.
Gonna be
That was great for
on,
me. It was great having Lonnie here. It was great seeing you, Johnny. Hey, by the way, really liked the appreciation they did during the Oregon game. I believe about you, about your. I'm sure you heard about it and everything.
Yeah.
And it was tremendous. And the guy that was the announcer, I'm blanking on his name right now. He played
Terry Gannon.
Terry Gannon played on NC State's championship team in '83. He was a basketball guy, and that's why he knew your background and all that. But hey, nobody's done it better than you, Johnny.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Williams, Lonnie Baxter, Tom Marquito, Johnny Holiday, and good night. Women's basketball at 8:15 on most of these same stations.